security as a people, he explains. I want to transform our economy in a sustainable way so that we can preserve our culture, our heritage and our legacy that is built on this heritage. Nutraceuticals, wellness tourism, agro-processing, alternative energy, ganja and the sale of fresh produce are commercial endeavors being explored by the new chief. Food, he recognizes as one area in which his people have a distinct competitive advantage. A lot of our foods have inspired the Epicurean nature of the wider Jamaica, he says. We as indigenous people learned to live from the land, so we had different means of preserving and cooking our foods, which in turn influenced local food culture. Currie lists corned pork, pepper pot, jerk sauce, roasted tubers and rundown as examples of Jamaican foods that were adopted from the maroons. Akompong's hard-to-traverse elevated terrain basks in an unusually cool climate with unique volcanic and clay soil types that Currie says cause foods grown here to have more potency than those on the flatlands. Cockpit country is also unique in its ability to grow crops that are not frequently found in other Caribbean climates, such as berries, strawberries and mushrooms that grow wild among the networks of springs and streams. Akompong's topography also protects its citizens from many of the typical environmental threats posed by climate change and encountered by flatland farmers. In October and November 2020, there was significant rainfall that wiped out the crops of farms on the outskirts of Cockpit country. Akompong was not affected negatively and local farmers relished the opportunity to hydrate the soil and get good catchment. To me, Maroon country is Jamaica's contingency for food security, and that is how we should be positioning ourselves, says Chief Currie. As a diplomatic engagement, I would seriously look at how the Maroons could be a source of food security for the nation. Among the crops that Currie says could be easily brought under the umbrella of sustainable development are ginger, breadfruit, yams, castor oil, sorrel, potatoes, peppers, bananas, plantains and turmeric. Recent talks with potential overseas partners have revealed an interest in Cockpit country branded food products, but planning and infrastructure is required to facilitate fulfillment of the demand. We have the land, we have the labor, we just don't have the capital to complete the circle of productivity, Currie explains. But what is lacking in infrastructure and development the Akompong people make up for in their strong ethos of family, community, birthright and respect for the earth. Currie's father, who he lost to a car accident when he was just 7, was a farmer, a Rastafarian, a freedom fighter, and an Akompong Maroon. Currie's mother, who hails from the Beth Salem Maroons, taught him the meaning of family, birthright, and spirituality. Despite their revolutionary history, the Maroons of today are a peace-loving nation. While the word maroon originates from the Spanish cimarron, meaning wild, and despite Jamaica's well-documented issues with violence, Akompong has had only 3 murders in the past 5 years. The only untamed thing about the Maroons is their connection to the land. We have arguments today, but then we are sitting at the same bonfire tonight and we are eating from the same pot tomorrow, says Currie with a laugh as he finishes his cup of coffee. If we live in balance with nature and each other, then nature will provide for us in a similar balance. This is the true meaning of freedom.